Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I have a group of amazing women here that have had a lot of success in their isogenics business. And we just wanted to bring a panel to you just to talk about some of the objections that come up all the time for so many of us. So without further ado, I'm Molly Trotter. But first, I want to pass it over to Rachel just to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey guys, so my name is Rachel Briscoe, and just so that you have a little bit of background information on me and where my experience and my kind of my style comes from, I have a master's in educational psychology with an emphasis in counseling. So yes, I'm that person in a group of people, and I spent about 10 years working on a college campus, working specifically with college students on everything that happens outside the classroom. So Amanda, take it away.
Hey guys, I'm Amanda Pike. I have a background in marketing in the corporate world. I've also owned my own marketing business, started a couple other companies like a cupcake business. That was fun for a little bit. And I have a lot of experience with sports and athletics and working with different athletes in MMA, football, bodybuilding. That's kind of my realm there. And I've been with Isogenics for a couple years now, just had my isoversary, which is exciting. Okay, Carity.
Awesome, thank you. Hello, you guys. I'm Carity Maurer. I have a bachelor's in business with an emphasis in marketing and human resources. And for 7 years, I worked for a design company as a senior account manager. I've been with Isogenics for a couple years, and actually in February it will be 2. So thank you for letting me share. Molly, back at you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies. I'm so glad to have you here so we can just really tell and talk with people about what it is that we hear every day, and likely they're hearing the same things. So as I mentioned, and I mentioned, my name is Molly Trotter, and where my background comes into is communications. I was a television news anchor and reporter for about 5 years for a CBS affiliate. So coming in that background of, just interviewing lots of people, just really finding that interest of where they are and meeting them where they are so we can just, tell their story in the way that they want to. That's where I'm coming from. I've been with Isogenics for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in March, so I'm super excited about that. But without any further ado, let's go jump right in and talk about, some of these objections that we get. And the reason why we wanted to share our background is what Rachel had mentioned, just so kind of the mindset of where we're at, where we're coming from. So the first one I want to talk about, Rachel, if you don't mind sharing first, is cost objections, because we know that's a big one.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I'll be honest with you guys, I learned so much about cost objection from Chris Harder. And so if you have not gone to isogenicspodcast.com and searched overcoming objections, I think is what it's called. I know Amanda's listened to that about as many times as I have, but he goes through, and his verbiage on cost objection is stellar. I still use it to this day. And so essentially what it comes down to is you have someone ask you how much, or even before they ask you that, it's ideal to have this conversation beforehand so that you're really guiding the conversation. But sometimes people are like, oh, cool, what do you do? And you're talking to them about it, and they're like, okay, how much does it cost, right? And that terrifies people. It terrified me for the first 1.5 years until I really got this verbiage down. So what he does is beautiful. So say, Molly, you're talking to me and you're like, all right, that sounds cool and everything, but how much? Like, bottom line, they just want to know. And I always respond with people, and I say something like this. I'll say, the price is different for everybody. It completely depends on your goals and your budget. So do you mind if I ask you a few questions so we can figure out exactly how much this is going to cost you? And they always say yes, because that's what they want, right? They want the information. And I try to use words like investment versus cost. Like, how much is this going, like, what is that initial investment going to be for you? Because I want them to already get that in their head, right? So I'll say, okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions to help you figure out what that initial investment is going to be for you. So Molly, if you were going to replace any 2 meals a day with isogenic shakes to really see what this system is going to do in your body, which 2 meals do you think those would be? And Molly could say something like
breakfast and lunch.
Awesome. Molly, most people, those are the meals that they choose because we're busy on the go in the mornings. Lunch is usually like out and about somewhere, and who wants to spend money on takeout every single day, right? So that's a really common answer. So I can definitely help you figure that out. Now, Molly, when you think about your breakfast, what is it that you typically have for breakfast right now? And obviously, Molly already has shakes. So, but for most people, I'll tell you, the answer I get most often is that some people say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be afraid of that, because yes, nothing costs $0, but it's costing them more in other areas, and we'll get into that. But I ask them, what do they eat for breakfast? What do they eat for lunch, right? And whatever answer they give me, most people are spending a significant amount of money on lunch, especially if they're busy on the go working outside the home. So I'll say, okay, so Molly, it sounds like, about how much would you say that whatever breakfast costs? So say she said English muffin and some eggs. Like how much do you think that costs you? Or you run through Starbucks and you get a coffee and one of their little pastry things. How much does that usually cost you? $7 to $10 is usually what they tell me. And then for lunch, Molly, what are you having? Oh, I'll run to the cafeteria in the hospital I work at, or I'll go, take a client out for lunch or whatever. There's an array of answers. Generally, people say anywhere from $5 to $25 a day is what they're spending on 2 meals. Okay. So I've asked them the question of which 2 meals a day are they going to replace? And then I ask them what those meals are now. So what are they eating for breakfast? What are they eating for lunch? And then about how much are those meals costing you? Based on their answer, they've given me their budget. So if they say something like, let's say 10, that's conservative, you guys. Let's say, okay, it's going to be about $10. I'll say, awesome. I'm going to give you the 2 best recommendations for you to get started based on your goals. And I always start with the value pack. And then I always tell them about the 30-day. So even if their budget says $10, you don't know, someone may be willing to invest that extra $10 a day to get the results that they want. That's why I tell people, first priority is your goal. Second priority is your budget, because I want to honor where they're at with that. So does that, I'm sure the girls can fill in the blanks, but that's how I start that conversation.
No, that's great. That's really great verbiage. And Chris Harder is definitely something that I keep in my back pocket too. Not him personally, but just his verbiage. So I wish I could, if I could follow him around and figure out what he says, but he does such a great job of pouring out in his social media or in his videos just to share exactly where he's coming from. And so thank you for sharing that, because that's really powerful to just have people really answer for themselves and being like, wow, I really am spending that much. So thank you for sharing, Rachel. That's awesome. All right, Amanda, what do you got?
Yeah, there's a huge difference between telling somebody, hey, I bet you probably spend somewhere between $5 and $25 a day, versus having them say in their own words, which is why we have them tell us what their goals are so they can relive out loud how they're feeling and how they want to feel. And then also, what are you saying? Like, what are you spending? What are you having right now? And I make it very clear. I'm like, this is a judgment-free zone. I very much often will say, I had pizza last night for dinner. So let's put that out there. It's not what this is about. The conversation is more about how much you're spending. So I use that verbiage a lot. I like that too. One thing that actually Rachel said to me when she was enrolling me, because we didn't talk about price. I'm not sure she remembers this, but I never asked her how much it cost. I talked about I wanted to know all the ingredients. I was that person. So then she's like, okay, let's set up your account. I didn't know the cost until, okay, give me your credit card. Here's how much it is. And I said, whoa, that's really expensive. Really good verbiage that she gave me. And I've heard it from Michael Klaus before, I think, is I totally get it. I had that sticker shock too, or I was a little bit surprised too. Always put yourself in their shoes. And most of us probably had a little bit of a like, oh, okay, moment. And she said, when was the last time you bought a 30 days supply of breakfast, lunch? And I got the performance pack. So all of your workout supplements, your vitamins, your pre-workout, your post-workout. When was the last time you bought 30 days worth of that up front? And I said, oh, well, never, because I was buying something every week or every 2 weeks online, getting it delivered, not tallying up the totals. I was spending way more. And another, so that really worked well. And another piece of verbiage that I've heard is the way we spend money on food, we think about it totally differently. Think about your mortgage. You pay for that a month at a time, your cell phone bill a month at a time. But then there's things like food and groceries that you buy as you go. With Isogenics, it's different. It's more convenient. It's getting delivered to your door. You are buying things in a 30-day supply. So you have to just change your thinking a little bit about that. So if you do those two things together, having them go through and map out how much they are spending, most people have no idea until you bring them through that. And then talking, if they still have a little bit of an issue, or if they bring that up first, then you can say, when was the last time you bought, 28 breakfasts all at once? And you knew they weren't going to expire, right? Oh, and especially that's big too. One other thing is that I'll say, And that exercise that we just did is just for breakfast and lunch. That doesn't include your vitamins. It's not including your ionics, which most people, your adaptogens, people are not even taking that yet. So not only does that cover lunch and breakfast and lunch, but also on top of that, these other amazing things like fat burning chocolate. So I really like when you help someone realize that they're thinking about it a little bit differently. It is an upfront cost, but it's throughout the entire month. That really tends to help.
That's awesome. Great. Thanks, Amanda. That's a really good picture. So just meeting them where they're at. I love that. That's awesome. Way to play off Rachel too, because obviously, you know, she enrolled you, so you learned a lot from her, but that's why I love this panel. It's because you can just play off each other, and it's just authentically just coming from the heart what it is that you share with one another. So thank you for sharing. And Carity, your turn. Do you have anything you'd like to add about what you talk with people for cost objections?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Yes, there's some things I would like to add. A couple things that I share with people is it's not an additional expense. It's really just a shift in your grocery budget. So if they think about it like that, then if they consider what they're already eating, like the scenario that Rachel went through, a lot of people don't realize what they're spending because it's just money out on a credit card or whatever, and they don't really think about it. And then their grocery store runs, you know, so they don't even really, most people don't even know what they're spending on food if you were to ask them. I didn't, so I can speak for myself. But another thing that I wanted to just bring up is something that I've been telling people lately, and it's kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, is I had a hard time justifying this for myself too until I just got sick of where I was. I was so sick of what I had been doing for so long. I needed a change, and I wanted to do it for me. And so people have really been like letting that sink in when I tell them that lately, and they're like, yeah, you know, maybe this is a little bit more expensive than what I'm currently doing, but I'm also not getting the results that I'm looking for. So something's got to give. And so when they think about it like that, then they're really ready to step into a new lifestyle.
That's great. That's really awesome. I mean, that really resonates with me because I have people ask me that all the time, being like, you know, they have the sticker shock, like Amanda said, and then, you know, you break it down, you know, $10 a day, $15 a day, $20 a day, what are you spending? And so really getting them to sit there and think about, what am I spending? Because Amanda, you made a really great point. I mean, we're paying our cell phone bills, we're paying our mortgage, we're paying everything else for a month in advance, but you're getting, you know, with our nutritional reset system, you're getting 2/3 of your groceries up front, and you're not going to have any waste. It's going to sit there, be there ready for you when you need it. And it's really easy to pack on the go. And the part that I want to touch on, that we've touched on a little bit, is just that on the go lifestyle, because people aren't going to make time for themselves. You know, so that where the cost objection comes up is, you know, think of Starbucks, for example. You know, I know a lot of people love their coffee. You know, all three of you beautiful ladies live in Washington, so Starbucks, definitely a powerhouse there. People are going to go through the drive-through, get a breakfast sandwich, get a coffee. At least $10 later with Starbucks. I mean, they're not going to have hardly any food in there that's going to serve them where they're at. Or like you said, I think it was you, Rachel, that was just people are going to be running out the door and they're not going to have any breakfast at all. Or maybe they're going to have coffee, something that's super acidic that's just going to sit there, and it's not going to serve them getting their day started for breakfast, because I think that's one of the biggest ones that pop up for people. So the cost is, you know, where are you going to rate your health? How important is that to you? How committed are you to that? And, you know, like you said, Carity, it's like, you know, when your food's not serving you, at what point are you going to be like, you know, I'm done with this. I need to make a change. I need to make an investment in myself, that Rachel mentioned as well. So I think everything that you guys have said, definitely the verbiage that I use too. I don't really have much more to add other than that, but I think it's really great. It's just showing them, here's what you're spending now. Here's the investment in yourself. Because so many of us, especially women, you know, we're going to go out and take care of so many people in our lives. And, you know, we're the last to be thought of. So why not make it a little bit easier, make meal prepping a little bit easier, and make it more friendly on your budget? So this kind of leads me into, Amanda, yeah, you have something to add?
I can talk on that because you just said meal prepping. One other thing that you can talk to somebody about, especially someone who doesn't have a busy lifestyle, but everyone has a busy lifestyle. But when you say, how much is your time worth? How many hours a week do you spend thinking about what you're going to cook? Meal planning, that's a big one. How many hours a week do you spend at the grocery store? driving to getting the kids ready, getting them in the car, driving to the grocery store, finding a parking spot, getting the cart, going in, trying to tell your kids, no, we're not having that, no, or your husband, we're not buying that today, all of that refereeing. And then what about reading the labels? How much time are you spending? Hopefully you are looking at labels, but if you're not, that's fine. But reading labels, trying to decide, looking at what's going to give you coupons, the best price on things, right? Then you get it home. How many hours a week are you spending preparing the meals and then cleaning up the dishes afterward? You literally, like, our time is priceless. We can't ever get time back. So I will often use that with my really busy families, or with, meal prepping has become this big thing in the last few years. And I say, it's ideal if you can spend 5 hours on a Sunday prepping all your meals for the week and putting them into little containers and keeping them in your fridge. And I used to do that too. And I would throw away a lot of food because it would go bad before I could eat it, or I'd be sick of it, or I wouldn't want it, I wouldn't like it. There's a lot, a big thing where you can connect time and money. Time is money. And I think that is a convenience thing. People pay for Starbucks because it's convenient. People also pay for Isogenics because it's convenient. And when you relieve somebody and you say, instead of thinking about 3 meals a day, instead of thinking about 6 meals a day, you just think about 1. Isogenics takes care of the other 2 for you. That's a big light bulb moment for people too. So it's a time thing, but it's directly, like, it's saving you time, which is worth the money, and or going to save you money depending on what your career is and depending on what you're doing.
That's really great. Thanks for sharing that. And one thing that kind of came up for me, and this will lead into the next one, which is nutrition. Just what you feed yourself, it starts there. People are like, oh, I need to go work out. I need to go to the gym. I need to do this and that. They'll spend thousands and thousands of dollars of money, thousands and thousands of dollars of their own money a year on trainers. But on the back end, they're not feeding themselves nutritionally. And that kind of leads us into our next topic. People saying, I only want to eat whole food. I don't know about this shake thing. I'm not really sure. I don't want to drink my meals. It kind of all ropes around together. But at the end of the day, people are going to be the first on January 1 to run into the gym, get on that treadmill, and here we go. But I ask people, aside from Isogenics being a nutrition and fitness coaches, I'm not going to touch your fitness plan until I know what you eat. Because if you're not feeding yourself the right food, what's the point of working out? You're only going to detract from yourself. And so many people are like, I don't really want to go there. But obviously we're going to go there, and we're going to go there right now. So the whole I only want to eat whole food kind of a thing. I don't want to drink my meals. Carity, I'd love to start with you as to how you coach people and just what you share with them to go about that.
Yeah, so something that I really like to start with is it was in your shoes before I started Isogenics. I too didn't think that I needed to drink a shake or even supplement. I didn't think that I needed that because I thought it was all artificial. I didn't want to take a supplement pill. That's what I just kept telling myself. That's all I knew. You don't know what you don't know, right? And so what I like to share with people is that unfortunately our foods are nutritionally depleted. I didn't know that, and I never realized what my body was lacking until I put this nutrition in my body and felt amazing. I didn't know how good my body was designed to feel, and once I put the nutrition in my body was when I realized, wow, I was in such a mental fog. I had little to no natural energy. I didn't need to have any pick-me-up in the afternoon. Ionics is my best friend, and all of the other solutions that Isogenics delivers. But if you could just put this nutrition in your body, you're going to notice that you just can't get everything that this nutrition delivers from what's in our grocery store or the produce market. So I start there, and I tell people, I validate that I did not think that I could see myself eating or drinking my food, even 2 meals a day for the rest of my life. If you would have told me that, I would have laughed at you. But truly, I wouldn't have it any other way. My body craves the nutrition, and that's pretty much what I've got.
That's awesome. Yes, thank you. I mean, I feel the exact same way. When I put it in, it was like a light bulb went off, and it was the key that unlocked everything else. I was doing the meal prepping, the exercise, and eating right, but I didn't know about the depletion either until I put this nutrition in my body and I gave it a chance. And, and the chance there too is there's a 30-day money back guarantee. So I was like, all right, what else do I have to lose? And then just seeing all the transformations and other people that have done it before me, I'm like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. What is this about? So that's really powerful about the nutrient depletion, because I feel like so many people don't know that. They think supplements, oh, they're scary. I don't like it. And sometimes I don't even use the word supplement. I just use lifestyle nutrition. It's just a little softer. People have had really negative connotations with supplements. But at the end of the day, it's what it is. We have to supplement for what we don't have, what comes out of the ground, the meats that we eat, stuff like that. So thank you for sharing. That's really, really powerful. Amanda, how about you?
Yeah, I use a lot of that same verbiage, and I enrolled Carity, and so I remember having those conversations, and it's so true. So what I like to do is sometimes I'll share other people's stories. So I've helped several women who were doing either Whole30, paleo, gluten-free, and those are buzzwords and people know what that means. Juicing, a lot of juicing, and I will say those words. I don't skirt the issue, and I say, if you feel like $1 million doing that, amazing. That's great. I don't want to change what you're doing. Like, I really don't. But chances are, I bet you could probably use a little bit more energy, or have deeper sleep, or not feel like you need a nap every day in the afternoon, or feel really powerful and energetic throughout your entire workout. Most of the time people are eating that way, but their cravings are out of control. Their energy dips in and out throughout the day. And I use experience that when I felt that way, when I was dieting very strictly, I'll use my own experience, and I'll talk about, especially women, especially in the 30 to 60 age bracket for women. I tell people, don't you just feel like a professional dieter? Like, you've just been dieting and tried everything, all these different things, the cabbage diet, and the soup diet, and the chocolate chip cookie diet, and paleo and organic and Whole30 and all of that stuff, right? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, and let me guess, you still don't feel like $1 million, or you still have that last 10 pounds to lose? And people say, yeah. I talk about definitely the soil being nutritionally depleted. That's a huge thing. And then I talk about, let me guess, you're probably not calculating out every single ounce of everything that you're eating. You're not calculating out your macronutrients. You're not counting your protein grams per day. All of that stuff makes a difference, and Isogenics takes care of that, takes the guesswork out of it. So you may find an awesome recipe online, but it may not be balanced for you and what you need and what you're doing. So a lot of it is like taking the guesswork out, the nutritionally depleted soil. And then I say, you still eat a lot of real food. You still chew a lot of your food. It's 2 shakes a day, but you're still having 2 snacks and 2 to 3 meals, depending on your lifestyle and your habits and your goals. So I still eat a lot, but that time between lunch and dinner when I'm like, oh, I want to look through the cabinets, I just make a shake instead. How easy is that? How fast is that? On top of all the yummy, crunchy, gooey, yummy goodiness foods that you get to eat beyond that. So that's a big one. And then I say, there's no artificial ingredients in anything that Isogenics makes. Nothing. It's gluten-free, it's soy-free, it's no GMOs, no artificial ingredients. So it's like Isogenics did all the meal planning, prepping, cooking, packaging, all of that for us, but concentrated, nutritionally dense food that makes it even better for us. So I like to use kind of those angles for it, along with what Carity was saying.
Awesome. Great. Thanks for sharing. That's really awesome. Thanks, Amanda. And Rachel, yourself, what do you use?
First of all, when you hear these ladies talk about this, don't you just want to go make a shake right now? It's like, I will drink my food all day if they talk to me about it. Does not matter. So I would say everything that they said, and when you're thinking about it, because you can hear this amazing verbiage, but I know for me, for so many years, I would hear this kind of verbiage, and then I would go to repeat it, and I'm like, wait, what? And then I just default to the stuff that I knew that wasn't working. And so for me, hearing formulas was really helpful, like feel, felt, found. When you hear an objection, if you can really hone in on feel, felt, found, you're going to have so much more success in breaking down barriers with people. And so that's exactly what these ladies said, right? I know how you feel. I felt the same way. Here's what I found. One thing that I started changing is I would do feel, felt, open, found. Because I would say, you know what? I totally know how you feel. I felt the same way when I first started Isogenics. I was like, you want me to drink my meal? And my first thought was, that's like grinding up my chicken and my broccoli and my rice that I wasn't really eating, let's be real. And in a blender and then drinking it through a straw. I was like, that sounds nasty. But that I was ignorant, right? I just didn't know what I didn't know. So I know how you feel. I felt the same way. Sharing a couple sentences from your own story. And then I ask them a question that's really important. And I'll say, you know, Molly, I know, like, I know how you feel. I felt the same way. Are you someone who's open to thinking a different way? That's a powerful question, because I have yet to have someone admit to me that they're not, even though I know they may not be. But the mere fact of asking them to admit that they are open opens their mind. And so then once they admit that they're open, you can tell them what you found. Feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, open, found. You have to open their mind before you tell them what you found, because otherwise they're just waiting for you to stop talking. But once you ask them if they're open, be like, I'm so glad, because here's what I found. And then you get to share the success, the transformation in your mindset that you made. And so what I will say to people is, what I found is I could put this stuff in my body, be open to what it would really be able to do. And if I did not feel any different after 30 days, I could get all my money back. I'm like, so you're telling me that I could potentially, and then insert their goal, you know, as if it's your own. So say their goal is they just want to have energy to play with their kids. So you're telling me that in about 30 days, I could potentially feel better about playing with my kids, or I could get all my money back and go try something else. I'm like, okay, that's worth it to me. Absolutely worth it if it means that this could be my outcome. So you really have to have had that conversation with them. This is key, you guys. No matter what verbiage we give you, you have to have a connection with them before you get to this point. Rarely do I get to this part of the conversation before I know what their pain is, how many kids they have, where they went to school, how much debt they have, you know, when's the last time their husband, they had a fight with their husband or their wife, you know, whatever it is, like something about them, about their personal life. People are willing to share more than you think. And so I do that feel, felt, open, found. And then I always make sure I put in that I get all my money back. Are you kidding me? There's no risk. If you are taught, now that's like most people, right? There are a few people that you know well enough, and I'm going to encourage you all to be very bold, because there are some people that you've been talking to about Isogenics for way too long, and they have just not said yes yet. And you know they're in pain, and it puts you in pain because they just won't freaking say yes. Here's what you say to them. Well, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and it's going to work. You know, I've been eating right. No, they're not. I've been eating right. I've been prepping all my meals. No, they're not. I've been juicing. No, they aren't. Like, they're saying they're doing all these things, and guess what you get to say to them? Molly, I love you. How is that working for you?
Boom.
Shut your mouth and let the silence pierce them. I've only had to use this a few times, you guys, but it's like in a situation of desperation where you're like, I have notes on you for the last 2 years and I can't stop it anymore. You need to do this. You don't say that. You can say that to them if you want to. But when you're far enough in your Isogenics business, and all of us are now, you start having those people that come back around and they're like, so tell me about this cookies and cream shake. Tell me about this free membership. Oh, okay, well, you know, excuse. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And they list off all these things they're not actually doing, or they wouldn't be 100 pounds overweight. And you're like, okay, how's that working for you? Mm-hmm. And that's how you love people. Sometimes you just got to be tough. And I know that's easier for some personalities. Yes, I'm a red, whatever. Don't use that as a crutch, people. You can say the same words I say to the people that you care about. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, no, that's huge. And actually I have come across something like that. The verbiage that we're giving works best verbally, right? In person or on the phone, right? Yes. Sometimes you get people over Facebook message or text that don't want to get on the phone, or just ask you a million questions before they get on the phone. And one thing that I use, and maybe it's a little bit sneaky, especially if I've reached out to them, you know, and they say, actually, I'm doing this whole 30 thing. I really like it, you know, but thanks. Or I already have a protein powder. I really like, thanks. And I go, I am so glad that you found something that makes you feel like $1,000,000. And if you know anything about about their background, like, so if you are sleeping through the night, you wake up before your alarm goes off, and you just like feel amazing all throughout the day, and you're hitting your goals in the gym, and your progress, or you're hitting all your fitness goals. That's awesome. I don't want to change anything. Most people I talk to are not there yet, so I'm so glad that you found something that works for you. If/when you hit a plateau or you want to make a change, I will always be here to help. But until then, keep rocking it. And I use those words kind of sneaky, because most people do not feel like $1,000,000. They don't sleep through the night. They don't have energy to play with their kids. They're not hitting all their goals on their own. And even if they are, what we've seen again and again and again is that people hit plateaus. So I say, if/when you hit a plateau, or you want to try something new, or you change your mind, I will always be here to help you. But I'm so excited that you found something that works for you. And then if it's in a message, I will change the subject. Hey, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? So that it switches the gears. Rachel taught me that one. It kind of switches gears a little bit, but you're planting those seeds with people. So, and some people say, oh, yeah, I do. I feel all those things. That's great. But then other people are like, you can like, they're thinking about it, because you know that they are hurting. You've seen their Facebook posts. You've been around them at functions. Like, things are not like what Rachel was saying. But they're telling you that they do. So you can repeat that back to them. And I like to plant those little seeds. And then the truth is, I am always here to help them. The door is always open. I'm not going anywhere. I would love to help you if and when things change. I like to leave that there too.
Dang, girl, I like that verbiage. That was good. I was like, where's she going with this? This is awesome. Because you're just, like you said, you're just planting seeds. And I think that's super powerful, because you're like, I am in total support for you. I want you to feel your best. I'm so glad that you are, but know that I am always here, because then it's like so many people, I feel like, I know a lot of people I've talked to, it's like, oh, I'm not good at selling things. I'm not good at doing this and that. You're just meeting people where they're at. That's all you're doing. You want to give them a solution to feel their best, whether that's through, the nutrition with their shakes, their cleansing, bars, sports performance, all of it. There's so many different things. And it's just, just showing them. I just love it. I love this entire panel. You guys are doing awesome. One thing I really wanted to add to that is I only eat whole food. I don't want to drink my food. With us talking about these things, because I really don't have much to add on this particular topic, except just a little bit. With us talking about these things, if we're going out there and sharing this with people and showing them how your life is changing, you feel so good, this and that, not all of us right off the bat are going to have those physical transformations. We're going to have non-scale victories. We're going to sleep better. We're going to just feel, we're going to have more energy, and people can, see that vibe in your energy, but just tell them about it. Your words are powerful. If these people are following you on social media, your friends and family, they're going to see that from you. And that just goes along with being a product of the product. You can go along and just talk about how amazing these products are and what they've done, blah, 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 show transformation after transformation. But what's so important is that they see you using it. They're not just having something being thrown at them, being like, hey, I really love this, give it a try, whatever your verbiage that you're using. That's why we're doing this call, so you can hear what some of the people that have had success, what we are using. You have to be a product of that product. You can talk about how amazing the 30-day is, but when's the last time you did it? And where are the results that you're speaking about? You know what I mean? And we all go through different phases of life where we're doing, there's busy parts here and family there and what have you, but just really trying to be the product of the product and not try, do is so powerful, because I can't tell you for me personally how people have been like, I've been watching your transformation. I've been watching you grow and change, but then I also see how you celebrate other people. Because there's so many transformations that pop out every day. And that's what this nutrition is giving, is real people, real results. And they're putting it out there for the world to see, and being vulnerable with the world. This is where I was, and this is where I am. And I'm so fired up about it. You know what I mean? And there's nothing more powerful than somebody's real raw energy. And the most powerful person in the room, I just learned this, and it really resonated with me. The most powerful person in the room is the person who has nothing to hide. So just get out there, be a product of the product, and really just own it. And so that's really all I have to add, because you guys did great. So awesome job. Love you, ladies. This is awesome. And the last thing I wanted to go over is timing. So Rachel, you have kind of brought this up when we've talked this through. What is your thoughts on the timing portion of this all?
Timing it's a funny one, because I feel like other than price, I actually get timing objection more often than price. Because, and what I found is that most people who have a timing objection, their objection is actually price or fear. I have not actually met someone who legitimately did not wanted to wait to feel amazing until 30 days later. Not a single human I have talked to, I've been sharing Isagenix intentionally for 3 years. Not a single person is like, I actually just want to feel super crappy for the next 45 days and then I'm ready. No, you guys. So you have to really learn to read between the lines. And obviously you're not going to call somebody out in the line at the grocery store when they're asking you questions about what you're drinking. And they're just like, oh yeah, I want to do one of those things after the holidays. Oh really? You want to feel, sorry, I almost recorded. You want to feel crappy for the next 30 days? Yeah, I don't think so. No, you don't talk to strangers like that, but you have to really understand it. It's going to help you be compassionate with people. When they say something like that, what they're actually saying is, I'm afraid to even ask how much it is because I almost got my power turned off last week, or I'm too stinking scared to even think about putting that much energy into changing myself. That's what it is, you guys. It's not timing. No one wants to feel crappy for one more hour. Okay, so that's the first thing I would say is, I know that's not verbiage, but you, someone who's presenting Isagenix and sharing this gift, you have to be right up here when you're having this conversation, or you're going to project all sorts of weird crap all over them. I should tell you a story about what Jeff botched. Oh man, it was funny. But anyways, I'll tell that story in a minute. So I would say around timing, when people ask, there is a really nice way to have that conversation with somebody. So someone says, just had this conversation earlier today. Yeah, I'm super excited to start this. And I was like, okay, so realistically, when will you be willing to commit to do this for yourself? And I asked them that because that's the thing, readiness is one thing. No one actually wants to feel crappy for another hour, but will they actually commit to it? Because you don't want them to start that day if they're not going to actually do it. You know what I mean? So you want to set them up for success. So I asked that question, realistically, when are you willing, right? Not when are you going to, when do you feel like it? Because no one, we suck, we're humans. We never feel like doing anything for more than 5 seconds. When are you willing to commit to do this for yourself? Restate their goals, throw that back in there. When are you willing to commit to start this 100-pound weight loss journey? When are you willing to commit to feeling more natural energy than you've ever felt in your life? When? And then, so the gal I talked to today, she's like, honestly, after the holidays, I'm so focused. I got to get through this. And then I can think about that afterwards. And my next question to her was, why? I want to know, why is that the time frame that you chose? Because I want to best support you. If I ever feel like I'm pushing a little too far, because I've never met this woman before. If I ever feel like I'm pushing too far with someone, I'll ask, I want to make sure I'm supporting you in the best way possible. Do you mind sharing with me why? Why do you want to wait? And to get them to actually come up with an answer that's not cliche, oh, well, because of Christmas. Oh, this is what's going on in my head, you guys. You're getting a firsthand approach to Rachel Briscoe's mind. But it's what? Did Christmas come down out of the heavens and say, don't take care of yourself? No. So what you ask them is, how would it feel to blank, 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 fill in the blanks with what they want to get out of this? How would it feel to have that energy through Christmas? Not after Christmas, but what would it be like? And you can say too, Molly, I am not pressuring you to start now because you need to start when you're ready. I have this conversation so much. I'm so curious if you've ever even thought about this before, but what would it feel like if you had energy through the holidays and you didn't just have to get through them? What would that be like? Do you guys see, you're casting a vision for them? Does that mean they're going to drop everything and give you all their kids' Christmas present money? No, probably not. But does that mean they're going to probably think twice about all the things that they need to purchase that they don't actually need to purchase? Do you know how many people I've had come back to me? I mean, probably this year, at least 5 people come back to me and say, my husband's going to buy me Isagenix for Christmas. That's my Christmas present. Because I had because I had that freaking conversation with them. Don't let them get out easy, you guys. be on a mission to help them think differently. Now, don't push them, but if you use that verbiage, not the stuff going on in my head, the stuff that I actually said to them out loud, because you don't want to burn bridges. But does that make sense, Molly? Like, because I know I went kind of back and forth, like Jekyll and Hyde, but like, you have to ask them. You have to help them dig. No pressure, Molly, but like, I'm just curious, what would it feel like to actually have that energy through the holidays? Or what would it feel like, Amanda and I just talked about this, I think she did a post on it. What would it feel like to not gain that 10 pounds that everyone else gains during the holidays? Because a lot of people will say like, oh yeah, once I gain all my holiday weight, then I'll go ahead and try to get rid of it. It's like, what? Wait a minute.
Yep.
What if, right? So that's the verbiage with timing. And I don't know, it's different with like back to school or over the summer. Oh, we're going to have so many barbecues and this and that. Share stories. I know so many people who get to the end of the summer and they're like stepping on the scale like this. And then they're like, oh, well, I lost 2 pounds this summer. Are you kidding me? I drink a lot of beer. Like, it's amazing what maintaining with 2 shakes a day. Okay, I'm beating a horse. You guys understand. I get very passionate about timing. It's a cop-out.
Thank you, Rachel. Nothing like the on the rail, boom, right there for you. This is Rachel in the flesh, everybody. I love it.
Nothing to hide.
All for it. Carity, I'd love to hear from you what you have to say about this.
Okay, so Rachel rocked it. That was epic. But something that I want to share is another thing that people often say, well, I have this vacation coming up, so I'll do it when I get back. I just don't want to start something before my trip. Okay, well, don't you want to look awesome or at least feel a heck of a lot better, lose a couple pounds instead of nothing before your trip? Don't you want to look a little slimmer in that bikini? I mean, yeah, you're going to be having a great time on your vacation. Please do, okay? But you can even take some isogenics with you. You can have 1 shake a day or even still 2 shakes a day, save some money, and still feel great on your vacation. And come back home and jump right back into your this new lifestyle, you know? Like, you could do it before your trip, while you're on your trip, and when you get back home. So you don't need to wait to feel better. You don't need to wait another day after your package arrives to start isogenics. Some people say, oh, well, I'm going to start on Monday. It's a fresh week. Well, you don't even need to wait that long. Just start the day after you get your package. It's so funny, but there's no need to wait. There's no need to wait to order, and there's no need to wait. Okay, there's maybe a few reasons, but you don't need to wait to order. Feel good now. Once you get your system, don't wait till Monday. If it's a Wednesday, start tomorrow or start tonight. But the concept of timing is so funny, and we just want to help everybody feel good as fast as possible, and they can. I guess that's all I have to share.
Oh, Molly, you're muted.
Sorry, I got on a roll and I thought that I muted myself. My bad. It's so, especially right now with the holidays and just wanting to wait till January 1 and after, Christmas and this and that. And it's okay to indulge in some sweet treats. We're all going to do it. There's going to be parties. You're going to have a good time. But just like you said, whether it's you're going on vacation, you're enjoying a party, we're not telling you to stop life and just go, isogenics, and I can't have anything else. That's not it. This is a lifestyle change where you're going to feel good and you can enjoy life with it. It's not a diet where you're going to have to be so strict and then it's not sustainable. This is sustainable. And, with timing, I mean, you can't afford not to start. You're going to feel, there's so many stories out there of people just sharing their truth and their vulnerability, their heart, their results. And it's like, there's something out there for everybody to connect with everybody. I mean, all of us on the call, we all come from different backgrounds. We now live in different parts of the country. I mean, but we're all here because of one goal, because of a product that brought us together that has given us so many results. And we just want to share that. And that's what we want to share with you. The timing, like, everybody needs to eat. So really, what's the timing issue? Because you're still going to be going out there, go to the grocery store, buying food. You might as well buy something that serves you and that's going to be there for your breakfast when you said that you haven't had breakfast, you haven't made breakfast for yourself in 5 years or something. Boom, blend up a shake. You're good to go. You're out the door. And that's going to be so much better than going to get Starbucks and just have that acidity just sit in your stomach starting off your day, and then it's, Monday, and you're like, oh my gosh, I hate Mondays. And I can't tell you, since I've started Isogenics, I've seen so many more people being on fire about Mondays, because Mondays are paydays for people. It's a good start to the week. I mean, who said that Monday has to be the womp womp, like we got to start this, or it's, because it's the start of the work week. But I mean, we're blessed to have another day, to wake up and have another day. And that's a whole nother conversation entirely, but kind of goes into timing. I mean, why do we keep waiting? So, all right, I'm going to step down for a second. Amanda, it's your turn. Sorry.
Cool. Yeah. And I'll just, they both spoke on so much of what I already talk about. Vacation is a big one, like what Carity mentioned. So I talk about what I do on vacation, and the three of us, or the four of us on this call, we do bring a blender with us in our bag. And some people might think that's crazy, but if you're like, and I say, I would have thought that was crazy too, but I'm telling you, you're going to want to blend up your shakes. They're so good. But I use the example of, like, you're going on vacation, you're in a hotel room, you wake up, let's be honest, like, by the time you get up, get ready, pick the restaurant, go sit down, have, your meal comes to you. It's been several hours. You need to eat before then. So I will blend up a shake. I'll get ice from the ice machine and water bottle. And if I don't have my blender, I'll blend, shake it up. And then I still know that at least I'm getting that 24 grams of protein or 36 grams of protein, and I'm starting my day off right. And I'm saving some money. Same with it in the afternoon. You're shopping, you're vacationing, you're by the pool, you're hungry. Do you really want to order that $15 cheeseburger from the pool guy? Or could you have a bar? And those are so easy to pack. The packets of the shakes and the bars, so easy to pack with you. Even our Ionics, you can get little sticks. So I paint the picture of truly, like, saving money is a big one for people, and convenience, and just, like, you're still going to have fun, but at least like, you don't know what ingredients are in that restaurant food, which is fine, enjoy it, but at least you know that you're filling in the nutritional gaps the other parts of the day. And then also what I'll say is, and this is a sales tactic, you want to get a sale above not getting a sale. So what I tell people, if they're just like, I am not going to do that on vacation, it's my honeymoon, I'm like, totally, I get it. But what I would suggest is, let's order your system now so that it's on your doorstep, and you can start, like Carity said, you can start the day you get back. So much life can happen, especially when they go on a vacation and spend a bunch of money and maybe feel a little bit guilty. So much life can happen between when you have that call that they may change their mind and not sign up later, even though they were all for it before. Oh, I'll call you, Carity, I'll call you when I get back from my trip and we'll sign up. How many times have we heard people say that, and then they go MIA, you can't get a hold of them? Or they say, I talked to my husband, I've changed my mind. It's not that you're trying to rope them into something. They're excited about it. They want it. You've connected with them. I use that a lot. I say, okay, cool. And totally, like, enjoy your vacation, meet people where they're at. Let's get your system ordered now. Pick out everything now so you don't have to think about it on your trip or think about it when you get back. It's on your doorstep. And you'll have everything you need to get started that day. Because how often do we go on vacation and we don't always feel so great from all the food and drink and just different foods and jet lag maybe, and we want to feel great immediately? And I actually have had a lot of success with that too. So you want to get the sale above not getting the sale at all, even if they're like, well, I can't get, going back to cost, I can't get the whole system. You know what? I know lots of people that started with 2 shakes a day. Having some isogenics in your body is better than not having any. There's no wrong way to get started. Let's start there, right? So you want to get them hooked on the products, right? Trying the products, feeling really good. And what Carity was saying, I tell people, you'll feel a difference within a couple days. Do you have a few days before you leave on your trip, or a week or 2 weeks? That's a lot of time, surprisingly, believe it or not, to make a lot of progress in how you're feeling and how you may even look on your trip. And that's kind of a big one too. So tug at those, like, emotional heartstrings a little bit.
I love that, Amanda, because I think people assume that it's going to take months and months and months before any sort of progress happens, because that's most things, right? People who've done Whole30 or keto or any, like, you might have some drastic changes in some areas, but to actually, like, get the feeling, there's a reason that people say days 4 to 7 in isogenics if you're following the normal, like, the recommended schedule. The last thing that I completely spaced that I use a lot that I wanted to share is when somebody uses timing as an objection, I always start with, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I did a very poor job of explaining what this is. this is not like a fad diet thing. This is not like a quick fix. Like, this is a lifestyle. So you literally can start it anytime, and the holidays won't impact it. Your vacation will impact it. And so I take ownership in that, even though I probably said it 18 times by that point, but I take that ownership, and it then opens the door for them again to be open. So it's like, Molly, oh my gosh, girl, I totally understand what you're talking about, but that's my fault. I'm so sorry. I did not explain this very well. Guess what? This isn't a diet. This is a lifestyle. You can start today and then not feel crappy through the holidays, have energy to get through Christmas shopping, be able to save so much money on food on your vacation. You guys, 6 days in Phoenix with all 4 of my family members, Isagenix saved us hundreds of dollars. Just saying.
Going along with that, it's not a weight loss product. I say that it's not a weight loss product. I'm actually pregnant right now. I tell people, let's be real. I'm not trying to lose fat. I'm not trying to lose weight right now. I'm still using the products. They can go with you through any phase of life, whether you're trying to cut, lose fat, lose weight, maintaining, you're training for a 10K or a marathon, you're pregnant, you're nursing. Your goals are going to change. The way you use Isagenix products will change with what your goals are and what life looks like. And that's why I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you navigate. The products are the same for someone that I'm helping who actually wants to gain weight versus someone who needs to lose 100 pounds. The products are the same. It's how we use them and implement them in our life. And another big one that I talked about on another training call is there's no offer on. There's no right or wrong. You're not using Isagenix or you're not. It's how you're incorporating it into your diet. What other lifestyle habits are you changing? And knowing that it's not only about weight loss. I know we post a lot of transformation photos, but reminding people that it's not only about weight loss. It's about convenience and time saving and all the other things we talked about on this call, right? So I remind them of those things too. I think that really opens people's eyes because like Rachel said, they're used to fad diets. They're used to weight loss, fat loss, and not many people want to start that when they have a plate of Christmas cookies in front of them. And I get that and I own it and I tell them that. And I think that really helps a lot.
Awesome. Well, thank you. See, I love it. When we started this call, we were just like, oh my gosh, there's so much to share, and just everybody hopping in and piggybacking on it off of everybody just really makes it, so easy. We don't want to sit here and role play for you. We want to do the authentic sharing. You go, now you go, now you go. What are you going to do? Oh, hey, I use that too. And this, and it just shows you how easy this is to duplicate and just to get out there and share it with your team. So I really hope that you guys got something out of this. I know I did. Hopefully you ladies did too. Thank you, Rachel, Amanda, and Carity for hopping on and just, sharing your truths and your love with all this. Awesome. Taking notes. If you haven't noticed, I am sitting in my car doing this call because I needed something quiet. So got to do what you got to do. But again, thank you so much for everybody who's joining in, and hopefully you got something out of this. But I just want to appreciate all of you ladies for taking the time. And yeah, let's get out there and share this gift, especially through the holiday season, because I think you guys gave me some really good nuggets to really get out there and just go all out. Christmas or not, let's make it happen.
Thanks, Molly, for putting it together. It was really fun.
Thank you.
Of course. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.